boom, 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 boom. I think we proved that point. Welcome back, everybody, to the show. I'm your host, as always, Jay Villain, aka That Villain Jay. Tonight, we have a very special treat for you because we are updating one of our favorite decks ever, Wild Animals, the wild beasts of the field, if we want to get biblical with it, and maybe we do. We had a one-card upgrade tech, and I know that's not too exciting. Maybe we'll keep the shakedown breakdown a little shorter this time. But this is very similar to the animal deck that we're getting from Bloomborough. The main thing that we're adding is Diligent Zookeeper. You can theoretically get a turn 4 knockout on this if people are not paying attention. This can come out of nowhere and just absolutely hit someone in the mouth. Because it's arguably on its drop, and let me say this is not an exaggeration, stronger than Ouroboros. On drop, I'll talk about that. Before we get down into it, I need you to do something for me, which is, of course, tenderly press that like button, gently press that subscribe button, because if you don't press that like and subscribe button, guys, I'm going to be honest with you, you're going to get attacked by the like and subscribe, which you may or may not know is a YouTube werewolf who will viciously maul you and attack you for not liking the video and subscribing to the channel today. Join us on our stream every night at twitch.tv/thatvillainj. For all the live streaming goodness. We'd love to have you there live and in person on Twitch and on YouTube. Both of those places you can check us out when we go live, when we talk about it, when we do all of our things. Hit that bell, notified whenever the decks go live, whenever anything happens. Check out our Discord community for all the latest news, information, post your decks, post memes, ask questions. It's all right there for you. If in case you want to share your deck or anything, communicate. And of course, this deck and all the other ones that I build are going to be available down below on my AetherHub. So if you want to copy this one, Moxfield or AetherHub, and we'll be there. So what are we talking about when we go back to wild animals? Well, first things first, early suppression. Let me tell you how useful Seam Rip is. For that Badger Mole, for those turn 1 and turn 2 big plays, those rampers, we actually really needed Seam Rip, and I think chat told me you gotta have Seam Rip in here, and I was kind of hesitant to put it in. It ended up being very, very useful to just pop those early removals out of there early on. We're also going to go to the card that I'm so tired of, but I need, is Sheltered by Ghost. Those are going to be our Burst Exiles right there. Sheltered by Ghost is just too much power in a white deck to kind of leave out at this point. I know I like to challenge myself to brew without it, but honestly, at this point, the Exile, the +1, the Ward, and the Lifelink are all super, super, super useful. So that's going to be our first. That's going to be our first play. Next, we're going to do a couple of things here. Rabbits and frogs and boars and spiders. All of it is here. A lot of rabbits, but not all rabbits. Seasoned Warren Guard is a great 1-drop for 1 white. 1/2, whenever this creature attacks, while you control a token, this creature gets +2. Now, you'll notice that all of the type line on these cards are going to be 2. Rabbit Warrior, Frog Warrior, Rabbit Soldier, Rabbit Archer, Rabbit Warrior. You see that they're all 2 type lines. The only non-2 type line that we have is going to be the Hop to It Rabbits, which are just rabbits. We are specifically choosing, okay, to have 2 type lines, 2 or 3 type lines on this for a specific reason. And Bloomborough is very good at facilitating this. So this is going to add a +2 whenever it attacks, as long as we have a token. How do we generate tokens? Terran Tusk, the Unwisely Awoken, aka Spider Ham, adds a food token, and Hop to It adds rabbit tokens. Pretty easy to do to get that extra +2 as we go in. Next, we're going to go with Palm Patch Recruit. This gets played in non-rabbit decks. This is good enough to be put in all kind of decks right here. 1 green, 2/1, Offspring, and Trample. You can pay 2 more to get 2 of them. The best thing about it is if anybody targets anything that you have with a spell, everybody gets the, or one other creature gets +1/+1 counter. Super, super, super useful at that. You get that pump and you can get multiple creatures out. And again, it does create a token. Creates a little bonus token, which of course could have Seasoned Warren Guard. help that. Now, the other 1-drop that we're going to have is the Frog Warrior, because we are going with some different animals here. 1 green, 1/1 Frog Warrior Trample. Whenever another frog, raccoon, squirrel, or rabbit comes in, you can put a 1/1 counter on this creature. All of the callers, all of the Valley callers cycle from Bloomborough is super powerful. This one is particularly good. It's really, 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 it's really useful. So yeah, 1 green right there. It's going to be early plays. It's going to be early aggression. That's going to get yourself set up for that. Now, we want to pump across the board. And luckily, we have a few card options to do that, to just kind of build huge board state. We already talked about Shelter for removal, so we're going to go right to Valley Quest Caller. I want to split the difference here between Terran Tusk and Valley Quest Caller. 1 white and 1, 2, 3. Whenever one or more rabbits, bats, birds, and or mice you control enter, you get to scry. So you don't get any specifics. You only get rabbits, really. We don't really have any bats or birds or mice, but we could have that option going forward. Other rabbits you control get +1/+1 across the board, which is good, but I do want to split it up with Terran Tusk. Terran Tusk is the animal man right here. This is Spider Ham, 1 green and 1, 2/2. Another pump across the board, and it creates that food token for you. Other spiders, boars, bats, bears, birds, mice, cats, dogs, frogs, jackals, lizards, mice, otters, rabbits, raccoons, blah, 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 blah. So we get everything across the board. Every animal almost is going to get +1/+1, which is going to apply to our, is going to apply to our rabbits. It's going to apply to our frogs. It's going to be super useful to pump across the board. We can only have one of them, but it does stack and it does create that token, which is going to be very, very cool. And I want you to take a look at that. Spider Boar Hero has 3 type lines in it. That's going to be important. Beauregard Mentor is a solid soldier right here because it is a rabbit soldier. Again, 2 type lines, 1 white, 1 green, X star. It's equal to the number of creatures you control. So the wider that you go, the more powerful it's going to be. It's going to have that trample built into it right there. And Phineas Ace Archer. Did you want to go 3 on these? You certainly could. You could go to the classic 61J cards right there. You could cut down. Phineas is a very useful card because it is a 2 type line rabbit archer, 1 green, 1 white. The thing is with him, the payoff is a little later. You kind of want to set yourself up to attack on turn 3 with Phineas and make sure that you have a lot of creatures out to pump with, because he gets a unique ability. Whenever he attacks, he gets a +1/+1 counter on each other creature you control. That's a token or a rabbit. Then if creatures you control have a total power of 10 or greater, you get to draw a card. So he's a little bit of a draw engine and a pump engine across the board for very useful reasons right there. So he's certainly going to help as well. Hop to it, of course, is 1 white and 2. Create 3 1/1 rabbit creature tokens. Huge play. Especially in 4 sacrifice stacks or anything that's just hitting removal or bounce, a lot of that. You're putting too many targets on the board, especially if you're pumping them twice. They turn into 3/3s or something like that. It is also a mega huge play when you have the synergy of Valley Might Caller. Turn 1, Valley Might Caller. Turn 2, something like Quest Caller. And this thing is a 3/3. Then turn 3, you drop this down, and it's a 6/6 trample. You have a 6/6 trample on turn 3. That's insane power. That's a very hard thing to deal with. People are going to be playing reactively to you, trying to stop your big stompers from going in, and that's going to be a tricky thing to do. So a lot of good things on Hop to it. Of course, it has that cross synergy with Seasoned Warren Guard right there, and these are just rabbits. The only 1 type line is the only 1 type line card we're ever going to get out. So here's where the new tech comes in. And I wish it was, listen, I think it would be fun if it was more stuff, but I wanted to talk about this at the very least. This is the new guy right here, Diligent Zookeeper. And this is what I first thought of with him. I said, he is going to be a finisher. And this is what I talk about where he's technically immediately more powerful than Ouroborid. Now, Ouroborid drops. Ouroborid is a 2 green and 3. Which means you have to have 2 green mana out. This guy's easier to cast. He's a 4/4 right away. He's a human citizen ally. The thing about him, though, is each non-human creature you control gets +1 for each creature type it is, to a maximum of 10. So as many type lines it has, for example, Terran Tusk would turn into a 5/5. Quest Caller would get 2. All of the Rabbit Warriors or Frog Soldiers or whatever we have here would all get +2/+2 across the board, which again, as an immediate drop, is more power up front than Ouroborid. How many times does Ouroboros even get to the second turn where it pumps everyone again? And even that would be +1, and then it would be +2. If you got this guy right away, combining him with Quest Caller, you're getting a +3 immediately. So this is how you run a knockout play. They're not expecting every single creature in your deck to get +2/+2, or every single creature on the board to get +2/+2 immediately. That is a very, very, very hard thing to deal with, especially if they're expecting not that much damage. 4 Diligent Zookeepers can absolutely wreck your opponent. You go in, and even if they're not dead, if you're able to drop a second one the next time, everyone gets +2/+2 again, on top of the general pump-ups that you're getting as well. It is huge, huge amounts of power. And don't forget, it doesn't just matter if they're an animal. I know that it says just non-human. It just matters if they're non-human. They get one for rabbit, and they get one for warrior. They don't just get one for being a rabbit. Warrior is a creature type as well. So every creature type that they get, they're going to get that pump up, and it's going to be a massive payoff for there. There's a couple of other options we can play. We can talk about that. We're going to go with 5 plains, 6 forests. We're going to go with 5 plains, 6 forests. Hushwood Verge is useful. Lush Portico is not bad for the Surveil. It also counts as a forest and plains. I do like Restless Plarian in this, because if you do get stuck in the late game, you can activate it as a man land, and then everyone you gets +1/+1, which is great for go wides. I want 2 starting towns and 2 multiversal passages as well. I think I showed you that Air Temple wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if you put in an Air Temple, because again, it does pump up everyone. It comes in slower unless you control basic land, but we have enough basic lands. We're usually going to hit that, no problem. That is a good one. Again, late game to pump everyone, especially if you're going wide. On the sideboard, on the statistics tip, 27 rabbits and warriors, believe it or not, but a little bit of everything. Boars, citizens, frogs, spiders, soldiers, a little bit of all of it right there. 4 sorcery, 7 enchantments, 22 lands, forest, plains, and towns. 1.6 on a 2/2. Pretty cheap, but we want to make sure we hit our lines, and we want to make sure that we can cast multiple spells a turn. So I don't think you can cut any more lands from this safely and still get away with what you want to do. It is standard for wild animals. The other options, I know if you wanted to add more things into it. Curious Farm Animal is not a bad 1-drop. When it dies, you gain life. You can also use it to destroy an artifact or creature. And it also is a boar, elk, bird, ox. Okay, so that being said, it is a good payoff because it gets +4/+4 from Diligent Zookeeper. So Curious Farm Animals, not a bad 1-drop. You could even replace something like Seasoned Warren Guard. I think would be fine to replace if you didn't want to do that. Enter the Avatar state for protection and flying. You get some really good payoff on that one. Ademi of the Silk Shoots is another good one. Anti-board wipe tech. If you're saying, Jay, I'm getting wiped all the time, flash them in and just have them available to sacrifice everyone for Hex or for Indestructible. Also, 3 type lines. We'll get a +3/+3 from the guy. Badger Mole, you could certainly do it because it's a Badger and Mole. It helps you ramp a little bit. I'm tired of relying on Badger Mole too much. I think you're all tired of it already anyways. Overprotect for some protection and trample. Ouroboros, I talked about it. If you like it more or you want to throw it in anyways, sure. Believe it or not, the OG Badger Mole, the common Badger Mole, is not banned either. Creatures you control with 1/1 counters on them have trample for a 5-drop, a 4/4 5-drop that creates a 2/2 creature with an Earthbend 2. Is not a bad combination there. And if you combine it with something like Phineas Ace Archer, you invest more in Phineas and make sure that everyone is getting that +1/+1 across the board. You can actually do a little bit of damage with Badger Mole as well. So it's not a terrible thing. And of course, being a Badger and a Mole, it would get a +2/+2 across the board from the Diligent Zookeeper hit right there. So that is going to be that right there. A little bit of a different take on an older deck, but I wanted to kind of revisit it because I wanted to add it in. It's a really rough meta out there. We got to go move fast. We got to act like a wild animal. Leave a comment down there on the below. Make sure that you like the video. It helps out the channel a lot. Here we go. No, it's not as bad as Spider-Man. Spider-Man, I think I say would be like actively going backwards. We're going forward a little bit here, but at least in my little section of the world, I really was expecting a lot more from it. Early access was very, very low turnout, which was surprising also, at how bad the early access videos did. So that was another thing that was kind of a red flag. attacking a Ginger Brute. It should. River Churn. Is he going to play a black card? Is he going full mill? Set issue? Yeah, I don't know if it's a set issue either. I don't know. It may be an inherent problem with... Again, it may be an inherent problem with just the nature of Magic currently. There you go. That's why I want to try Lorwyn. I could use a smoke right now. Both Edge of Eternities. Final Fantasy for sure. Final Fantasy was the biggest my channel has ever been. It fucking exploded. It was insanity. Final Fantasy was fucking was crazy at how popular it was. After that, we had Edge of Eternities, which also was very popular, way more popular than I thought it was going to be. And that was really good. I was like, okay, we're on a roll here. We're moving up. The channel was growing, views were going up, the algorithm was favorable. We were kind of really in some headwind. You know, we were catching a lot in our sales. We were getting, you know, some record views. Some videos were really popping off. You know, there was a lot of power. There was a lot, I don't know exactly how to put it, but there was a lot of energy when it came to going forward with Magic. And we hit Spider-Man and we absolutely hit a fucking wall. I mean, just Brick City, USA. And I thought we'd kind of turn out of the skid. I thought we'd kind of turn out of the skid so far in whatchamacallit, Avatar, and unfortunately we've kind of turned into it. So the question is, where do we go from there? You know, where do we go from turning into the skid? How do we deal with that? Oof, oof. He's gonna need to have a wipe right now to win. He probably does. No, he doesn't. Land card with the rest of them. Starting town. There we go. Your Mythic Mania. That's awesome. 8 out of 10 controlled games. Yeah, it's the no, we're never gonna, I don't think we're ever gonna have a Marvel set on Arena. I think that is part of one of the things that is kind of one of the problems. Whoa, look at that. Look at that. Wow. Absolute fucking wild open right there. Wow. All right, we'll see what he does here. Interland Sacrificer. Absolute fucking god tier opener right there. Boom. Boom. Push. Essence Channeler. Let's do you. Boom. Let's do that. Boom. Shell by Dell. Seam rip. We absolutely will take a seam rip. Boom, boom. I think we're pretty fucked here. Yeah, we're pretty fucked here. Pretty fucked here. Oof, oof. We can see... Well, hold on. We can seam rip you. Diligent Zookeeper. Let's do that. Let's do that. Oh. Really depends what he draws next. Essence Channeler. Let's do that. Healer's Hawk. Yeah, we're fucked. Amazing fucking line right there, man. Which mono black card is a board wild? I don't know. But anyways, I hate to be a downer, guys, but I wanted to explain things a little bit. I wanted to throw a little bit of light on what was going on. And just generally talk to you. And just be honest. Day of the Black Sun is a very good card if you're looking for a board wipe. Yeah, Roll Tight Record, if you want to add your name or get more games from people, go check out the Discord, add your name, and then you can generally look for a game and look for people to fight. This is Infinite Loop. So let's go with this. Yeah, I'll take Lush Portico. Oh yeah, that's awesome. I haven't looked at my recap yet. I gotta look at my YouTube recap. Sephiroth. Sephiroth. Bada boom 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 on it and I want on it. Let's do that. Boom. Boom. Pop, pop. That's the problem. You know, a break is kind of only going to compound the issue. So it's one of those things that's like, um, unfortunately, a break will only make things worse. So we're going to have to wait and see. If he gets the gain and drain here, he gets the infinite loop. Or a sacrifice outlet. Yeah, so I think he's good to go here. He doesn't exactly have the loop. He can just basically sit here forever. Because there's no gain and drain, so he can just keep doing that same thing back and forth. He can clock out, but it's not gonna actually win the game. It's not gonna win the game. Wow, that's a lot, Joey. How you doing, man? M-Dog, how you doing? Welcome. No, I haven't. I've heard mixed things about Devil May Cry. I've heard good, I've heard bad. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, he didn't get himself set up until later. The devil's lettuce. Yeah, I've heard that I haven't heard too many complaints about the animation. I think the biggest complaint that I've heard was just the writing, faithfulness to the source. All of that was a little wonky. But again, I don't know Devil May Cry that well, so. Badger. We're gonna say hey, they damn near are. I don't know why people are. I watched the Stranger Things, and I don't know why people are shitting on it. I didn't think it was that bad. But people have not been happy with Stranger Things for some reason this season. They're real pissed at it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I thought it was fine. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what people expect. They want it to be life changing. It's just more Stranger Things. I don't know. It certainly is more Stranger Things. If you wanted more Stranger Things, you've got it. There it is. They're putting it right on the plate for you. Oh my goodness, Joey. That went in a direction I wasn't expecting. Don't spoil any of it. But it's not bad, and I didn't think it was bad in any way. I don't know. Season 3 was the weakest one. How's arena training me? Pretty roughly. I'm getting beat up a little bit. Let's do this. He's probably going to bounce or play more removal. Wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I'd have figured. I figured. So let's do this then. We'll go real. This is the benefit of going wide, is these things don't often work. We can go really wide, and he's got to have a board wipe for it. I'm excited for Fallout to come back, by the way. Fallout's a real fucking good show, man. Wow. He gets to double play it back. Look at that. How many tricks of that do you have? Get a return. Yeah. Okay, go for it, man. Now forced sacrifice can be a little trickier. So his whole deck is just force sacrifice again and again and again. That's pretty wild. It's just playing this card again and again and again and again. That's fucking... That's crazy. That's crazy work right there. Obsessive Pursuit. One of my favorite anime shows. I really like Chainsaw Man. I like One Piece. What else? What else have I been watching? I love Delicious in Dungeon. That's one of my favorites. Like that a lot more than I thought it would. No, I never got into Spell Table too much. No. Trying to think of what other anime. I don't watch as much anime as I used to. I still do enjoy it. I liked One Punch Man season 1. Season 2 was weak. Season 3 has been a disaster, so I haven't really watched that too much, but I liked One Punch Man season 1 definitely. It was a very good season. Bleach? Yeah, I actually read, believe it or not, I actually read all of the Bleach manga. What the heck is an anime show? You don't know what anime is? Just as a concept? You don't know anime? Like Japanese animation? Counterspell, perhaps? Knockback? What has he got? Okay, that's a good use of a counterspell. Sure, man. Yeah, the new One Punch Man is really bad. It's not good. It's very bad. Hawk to it. Boom. 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 Bird Tribal. Let's try it, guys. He's got an instant in his hand. We know this. He wants to fucking counterspell. There we go. Yeah, there he goes. That's what we wanted. We wanted to draw them out. I can spend all of his mana. Oh, I can spend some and get that back. probably going to counterspell this, but it's okay. Oh, he didn't. Okay. Let's wait. He's going to seed ship. Okay, he's trample. Pumps right there. Bird deck. Bird deck. Plumed escort. Very nice. Target creature gains hexproof. Nice. Swing in. Go in. Yeah, you should attack with a lot because it's not like I'm gonna come in and completely fucking body you with a huge fucking monsters. That's not what's gonna happen here, so don't fucking worry about it, you know? It's not like I was gonna body you with massive fucking bodies. Cowboy Bebop is very cerebral. I don't know if that's a good starting point. Hey, what's up, Couch Play Connor? How you doing? Let's go for you. I mean, not cerebral. It's a little slow. It's a little bit old. It's not something I would say is a great place to just the jumping off point. That's probably the most accessible of animes. That would be my take on it. Not that it's bad at all. I'm not trying to say Cowboy Bebop is bad. Cheat. Split up. Very nice move there. Sword of Wealth and Power. One Piece, oof. One Piece is hard to get into. Gee. See what he does. Make him have it. We make him have it, boys. Do 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 do. Okay, he's got a lot of shit on the table here. He can load up with. Killing the Fey Blooded. He can haste. That. He can fucking go absolutely hog wild on it. Sure, man. Do your damage, bro. Six. Let's do that. Gurren Lagann. Ah, Simon the Driller. Simon the Driller. You got the line here, I'm pretty sure. I can't block anything. Didn't hit any more removal. Oof, I need a mulligan this. That's fucking terrible, but what else can I do? We'll get rid of that. That's horrid. That's almost a force loss. And you Pump Hash Recruit. Okay. You over there. Boom. Gonna burn him up naturally. Naturally. Witch Fire, Wicker Fire. Let's put it on you. See how quick that you can burn those up. Pretty quick, as a matter of fact. Okay, please be a mana. Good. Let's get wide on him here. Talent. No blocks. Oof. Okay, Diligent Zookeeper. You. Phineas H. Archer. Card on the battlefield. Love is a battlefield. He's gonna double strike or something like that. Yeah, boom. Boom. We have to pull a removal, otherwise we just lose here. Phineas H. Archer. We are strong. Heartache to heartache, we stand tall. No one us knowing. Do, 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 do. Love is a battlefield. Dun 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 dun. Whoa, 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 whoa. We are strong. No one can tell us we're wrong. Searching our hearts for so long. Both of us knowing love is a battlefield. Okay, we'll start. Yeah, that's good. On the play. Do multiversal. Let's save green. Pay 2 life. Let's put down you right away. Boom. You know, it was fun when I first made it. It was fun to run. It was fun to do. But after a while, it got to the point where it was like, yeah, this is some real bad slop, you know? Push. We'll do Hawk to it next turn. Boom. He's gonna do the mole. There you go. The only option we have here is to go faster. Or to get removal. But I don't think we got it either way. Yeah, I'll take that. So he's got to put down some heat next turn. I can block it though. He could put down Ouroborite and pump, but I think I might be able to punch through. Rabbits are still good. As a matter of fact, we got new tech, Diligent Zookeeper, which is why we're doing this deck. We actually have new tech for it, believe it or not. Yeah, Anthony, I feel you, bro. I feel you, bro. It's standard isn't a crazy place. Down to 1. He's in trouble. Frenzy Baloth. I don't think that's gonna help. Frenzy Baloth. And send them into the city. I don't think any of this shit is gonna help. We're gonna overload the line here. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. I think we proved our point here. We can get in. We can mix it up with the big boys, I think we can. I think it is possible. I think there's still meat on the bones. I would have liked to add more to this, but honestly, there's not too much more to add. However, people are missing the absolute stunner of a finisher. Like, if you get out the right line for Diligent Zookeeper, you absolutely freaking destroy people. Like, some of these stat lines just get huge amounts of buffs from Diligent Zookeeper, which is impressive. This Rabbit Warrior gets to. We'll talk about it, but it is a really good deck, and I like that we're able to add a couple of new things to it to get to where we wanted to go.